WWF New York is brought to you by Discovery Zone. It's the ultimate entertainment spot, and it's just for kids. Go to your nearest Discovery Zone and get a free WWF poster. DZ, where kids want to be.
The following World Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Division contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing 209 pounds, too sexy, Brian Christopher.
Well, folks, let's take you back and show you the antics of Jerry the King Lawler and his boy, Brian, against Scott Putski, James.
Well, you got no proof of that. All you have proof of is that Scott Putski got his brains beat out at the hands of Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher. And, of course, that didn't take very long since he didn't have any brains to begin with, JR.
Brian Christopher in a light heavyweight matchup here against Tony Williams. I wonder if Brian's going to be by his daddy's side tomorrow night on the ECW pay-per-view, which airs, by the way, at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And it is a too sexy Brian Christopher taking over on young Tony Williams. Oh, what a hideous human being.
Oh, come on now.
The acorn doesn't fall far from the tree with this lad.
Well, in your case, you're just a little nuts. Because I'm going to tell you this, Brian Christopher is a tremendous superstar and an asset to the World Wrestling Federation, just like his mentor and his inspiration, the King, Jerry Lawler.
I wonder if little Andrew Giuliani's going to turn out like Brian Christopher. I hope not. There's a great drop kick. Tremendous move there by Tony Williams. And Tony Williams is, well, he's silenced to Big Mouth.
Watch it.
Nice plancha over the top.
Good night. Can you believe? And now Williams is mocking Brian Christopher.
How dare him?
Can you believe the way Williams flew? First he caught Brian Christopher under the chin with that drop kick, knocked him right over the top, and then you can see the plancha splatters both men on the floor outside.
Christopher momentarily in more hot water than Marv Albert.
Hey, there's only a 1 in 2.6 billion chance it was him. There's another guy in Guatemala that I understand they suspect highly.
You think he wears a rub too?
I'm not sure.
They're going to love Marv Albert in jail, I'll tell you that. Side headlock by Brian Christopher now on Tony Williams. Williams showing good agility here. The pace quickens in this light heavyweight matchup.
Early in their careers, JR, these two guys were tag team partners, but Brian Christopher went on to superstardom and Williams went on to obscurity, and he's going back there.
Look at him. Daddy's boy.
I can't wait to see him beat the brains out of that moron Scott Putski, that mental midget, at Ground Zero on September 7th in my hometown, where Brian Christopher is quite a name as well.
And by the way, folks, Jim Cornette is not from Brooklyn, has been mistakenly identified.
Don't ever heathenize me like that. Don't ever say such a thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with Brooklyn.
And nothing that's suitable. Nothing that a suitable application of explosives wouldn't cure.
I had about 4 great hot dogs the other day in Brooklyn.
I tried to get some food in Brooklyn, but they had stolen the escalator steps. You know, that guy stole 80 escalator steps from Brooklyn. He lived in a 4-story house.
What are you talking about?
I was reading the paper.
Good goal by, what a drop kick right in the back of the head by Brian Christopher. Boy, that was a devastating drop kick.
Thank God we're not in Brooklyn right now, or else somebody would have stolen Tony Williams' head.
And Tony Williams counters into a DDT. Very nice move. These two light heavyweights are really cooking here, and no doubt we're going to see more light heavyweight action down in New Jersey this Monday night in Atlantic City.
Oh, I know what we're going to see in Jersey, a bunch of weirdos like that Vladimir Zelenkov that has the hots for Chelsea Clinton writing letters to her. They arrested him for driving without a license. They should have arrested him for bad taste.
Boy, that reverse DDT, and now here comes the Tennessee Jam. What is this? Big time move right here.
That'll change your attitude and the course of history. That man right there, Brian Christopher, in my opinion, they might as well go ahead and give him the championship of the light heavyweight division, JR.
Well, that ain't going to happen. And his daddy pretends he's Warner Wolf a little later here on WWF New York.
And later on, the King of the Ring, Hearst Helmsley, along with China meets Vader right here on New York
And folks, the WWF's got a special offer for all of you that do not get pay-per-view in your homes. See what made Ken Shamrock snap, plus a whole lot more by ordering your own copy of the legendary SummerSlam home video. The SummerSlam home video is available now.
It's been called the action-adventure thriller of the year. A 3-hour, non-stop emotional roller coaster.
Best SummerSlam of all time. Awesome, man! This was awesome!
Now, this summer's #1 blockbuster is available on home video. WWF SummerSlam, Heart and Soul, the home video. Experience the excitement and drama. Relive the magic over and over again. Do order. Send a check or money order to the address on your screen. For credit card orders, call 815-734-1161. SummerSlam, the home video, costs $23.95 plus shipping and handling. This commemorative event is available only through this TV offer. So order now and own a piece of WWF history.
Welcome back to WWF New York. Ground Zero in your house is presented by Stridex. Triple clean your skin with Stridex medicated pads.
And in just 3 weeks on pay-per-view, a triple threat match where the 3 faction leaders go at it, every man for himself. Last Monday in the War Zone, the Nation shocked the world with a surprise we won't soon forget.
Wait a minute. There's Rocky Maivia. There's The Rock. Great to see The Rock back. What's he doing in the ring? Checking on the referee to make sure he's okay. Look at this. What? Wait a minute. Tell me. Now that... What? Rocky, come on.
Rocky Maivia coming out of the crowd.
The blue chipper comes out of the crowd. Rocky Maivia's rehabilitation for his knee injury has been complete. And what is going on here? His mom and daddy watching in Tampa, they got to be sitting at home in disbelief. What? Whoa! What a shocker. Rocky Maivia joining the Nation. And by the way, only the participants in this match will be allowed at ringside per order of Commissioner Slaughter.
Well, you see D'Lo Brown and Kama in the ring, and here comes the opposition.
And a total combined weight of 604 pounds. Here are Skull and 8-Ball.
Skull and 8-Ball, identical twins representing the disciples of Apocalypse. And this should be about as unscientific and technically impure as any tag team match you're ever going to see. It may more closely resemble nothing more than a street fight between these 4 guys.
Well, at least the riot will be confined to 4 guys instead of 8, thanks to the ruling of Commissioner Slaughter. But look at these 2 guys. Skull and 8-Ball, you can't tell them apart. They dress the same. They look the same. They're identical twins. They're both 6'8" and both 300 pounds. And I got to think, if we can't tell them apart, neither can their opponents, and that's going to lead to some problems for the Nation of Domination.
Notwithstanding this great tag team matchup here on WWF New York this Monday night in Atlantic City. From the Convention Center, live on Raw. What a match. It's a dream tag team matchup. The Undertaker and Mankind to meet Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And of course, oh my, Ravishing Rick Rude will be at ringside. That is going to be so explosive. What a war.
Boy, I want to tell you, I can't believe Undertaker and Mankind teaming up, and it's not of their own volition. This match was put together by Slaughter, and I think somebody's going to get slaughtered. Undertaker and Mankind have been bitter enemies. Them teaming up. Shawn and Helmsley teaming up. The wild card is Ravishing Rick Rude. What's going to happen on Monday night?
Hard slam is what's happening right here on WWF New York. Ooh. And either Skull or 8-Ball missing the elbow. D'Lo Brown now making the tag to the Supreme Fighting Machine Kama. Man, we got some beef in this matchup.
Well, D'Lo Brown at about 295 is the smallest man in the ring, believe it or not. But that D'Lo Brown, he's got mobility and agility. And Kama and either Skull or 8-Ball right up.
Both men knocking each other down, both men getting right back up to continue the fight, and a hard foot right to the jaw of Kama. The DOA certainly seems to be gaining in popularity And you got to wonder what direction now the Nation of Domination is going to take now that Rocky Maivia has joined the Nation. That was a bigger acquisition than the Mets made about a week ago. Hard power slam.
I'll tell you, the acquisition of Rocky Maivia is big news, but I don't know whether I'd join the Nation because I don't like their severance package. When you get fired from the Nation, brother, you really know it. Look at Ahmed Johnson. Ooh, on second thought, don't look at Ahmed Johnson.
Well, look at this hard right hand. Nothing but a fight in this tag team matchup. Hard Irish whip. And either Skull or 8-Ball follows it up with a clothesline. Tremendous intensity. That's what you see when you see the WWF live. Could be tomorrow night in New Haven, Connecticut. Could be Monday night in Atlantic City. And of course, coming up on Monday night, September 22nd, Madison Square Garden. And there's a cover and another near fall.
Madison Square Garden going back to Monday nights just like the old days, JR, and it's going to be a sure sellout. The tickets are going fast because it's the war zone for the first time ever in the Garden.
And look out there. Oh, my. From behind comes D'Lo Brown. Calm and distracted. The DOA. And now doing a number on him on the outside. It looks like a Central Park mugging here. Right in front of us, and that was a splat.
Boy, can you imagine what it's going to be like at Ground Zero? Each of the three factions, the Boricuas, the Nation, and the Disciples, have appointed a soldier. And they're going to go at it in a triple threat match. The last man standing gets bragging rights to the WWF. It's Savio versus Farouk versus Crush. I think that's going to be a heck of a fight.
Look out. Elbow to the sternum, follows with a lateral press and a 2 count for D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown, a very talented young athlete here in the Nation of Domination. I'll tell you, with the addition of Rocky Maivia, which shocked everybody, I think the Nation of Domination certainly has to be considered more dangerous than they have ever been, certainly on a par with the Hart Foundation, certainly on a par with the DOA and Boricuas.
Well, they're getting younger all the time with the addition of Rocky Maivia and D'Lo Brown, who is going to be a superstar in this profession. I think they're getting younger, they're getting more mobile, they're getting more powerful, and they're also getting more attitude.
Double teaming here now by the Nation of Domination. And down goes Skull or 8-Ball. We're not sure. Lateral press. We're sure about a 2 count.
And boy, that's one thing. You're never sure which guy you're fighting, and if you turn your back for a second, these two guys can switch on you and create all kinds of chaos.
DOA, Skull, or 8-Ball. As we said, these men are identical twins, both about 6'8", 300 pounds. But whomever it is, been isolated. And Kama taking a chance. Going up on the second rope. Not a very sound strategic move for the ultimate or supreme fighting machine, we should say. And tags have been made with the DOA and with the Nation. D'Lo Brown knocked down. And knocked down again. This one is not getting any prettier.
And for guys 300 pounds and more apiece, they haven't slowed down for a heartbeat. Ooh!
Some clotheslines. A body slam. Nothing but high-impact maneuvers. No finesse. Ooh. And another clothesline.
He's a one-man gang.
DOA. Wait a minute. Oh, look out. Kama pulling the top rope down into the concrete floor. And here comes the other DOA.
Whoa. They're all out. Here comes D'Lo Brown, and they're all outside the ring, and the referee is making a count, Jim.
This one is broken down just exactly what we thought it would from the beginning. It's nothing more than a street fight when the DOA and the Nation get together.
D'Lo's back in. D'Lo made it in, I think.
What's the decision here?
The winner of this bout, as a result of a countout, the new Nation of Domination.
Well, the Nation getting one up on the DOA on this occasion.
D'Lo Brown, he got back in. He was the closest to the referee and heard the count. He beat it by a hair. The Nation of Domination pulls one out of the bag against the Disciples of Apocalypse, but this thing is by far not over yet. Well, up next, JR the King, Jerry Lawler interviews this week's guest. We'll find out who it is when we return.
Welcome back, everybody. The WWF magazine is on sale right now at newsstands everywhere. And on the cover is Sable and Martin Merrow. Inside, an in-depth article discusses the tension between the couple and the increase in popularity that Sable has received since Mark's injury. Now let's hear who the King will talk to this week.
I want to bring a young man down here because I got some very serious questions I want to ask him.
Lawler thinks he's Warner Wolf.
I'm talking about none other than a gentleman who's competing in the light heavyweight division, Scott Putski. Come on down here, Scott.
Well, this should be most interesting.
This guy is a mental midget. He's a moron. He's an idiot.
The King?
No, Scott Putski. I heard he played for the Oilers one time, right?
Yeah, the Houston Oilers at the time.
Yeah, well, I think he's still a little greasy, too.
The son of Hall of Famer Ivan Putski.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big deal. Big honor. Calm down. I know you're still a little bit upset about, I'm not sure you remember that match that Brian Christopher and I had against you and your old man. Which, by the way, I'm still upset about because you know I would have won that match, but I hurt my fist when I hit your father on that medic alert pendant he was wearing.
Jerry Lawler, he sure didn't hurt his fist when he hit you with the Polish hammer and pinned you right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3.
Oh. Pretty good memory for a guy from, well, never mind. Hey, don't touch this coat, pal. Let me tell you something. If you don't let go of that coat right now, or by the time I count to 3, you're going to be in serious trouble.
I'm waiting.
You don't even know how to count to 3. Let go of the coat. Okay. Have your little fun, pal. Now let's say this. You're not going to have any fun because you're competing in the light heavyweight division. 1, 2. You're competing in the light heavyweight division, and you know that Brian Christopher is eventually going to be going for the gold.
What about me?
Yeah, what about you? That leaves you out in the cold as far as I'm concerned. You don't have a chance because you're outclassed.
I'll tell you what, Jerry Lawler. If you keep your nose out of my business, which you probably won't, I'll punk your kid right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and I'll have the gold.
You know what? Okay. Go ahead. Blame it on me. You know what? That's just like the Pole like to blame it on me. But let me tell you something. You're a fine-looking young man. Of course, you're not in the Brian Christopher category yet, but I'm going to tell you something. At ground zero, all I'm going to do is sit there and watch Brian Christopher take you apart. You know what I'm talking about? He is going to take you apart, Scott Putski.
Oh, look here. The King's boy is on his way. Look out. And look at this hideous duo from Tennessee attacking Scott Putski.
Watch what you say about the great state of Tennessee. Get him, Brian. He tried to attack Lawler earlier anyway, so it's no wonder that Putski would now get his from Brian Christopher.
Putski and Christopher, there's the DDT. The reverse version will meet at ground zero on September the 7th.
You know what? You rednecks, look at this. This is just a little sample of what's going to happen to you at ground zero. One-on-one, Scott Putski. That's the way Putski ends up every time he fights Brian Christopher. Flat on his face. Christopher, you people are looking at the new light heavyweight champion right here.
Well, what a broadcaster Lawler is. He reminds me of Chris Mad Dog Russo on the Fan.
Garbage.
A big mouth.
Yeah.
And Lawler doesn't even know anything about tennis. I feel so sorry for Mike Francesa.
Stand up and show. If I knew who you were talking about, I'd probably be mad at you.
And maybe we better feel sorry for the Connecticut Blue Blood Hunter Hearst Helmsley because he meets Vader, and that's coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to WWF New York. Well, this Monday, Raw is War invades New Jersey. Atlantic City's Convention Center, just a short ride down the Parkway. What a matchup. The Awesome Undertaker and Mankind will collide with Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and no doubt, ravishing Rick Rude will be at ringside. Raw is War. It is live from the Atlantic City Convention Center this Monday night.
And on September 22nd, Raw invades Madison Square Garden. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster. They're going fast. Be at the Garden for the first ever live Raw event at MSG. And last Monday in the War Zone, Shawn Michaels dropped a rude awakening on all of us.
My
I know all of you are after me, so, like always, I'm thinking ahead. You see where I'm going? And the Heartbreak Kid, once again, feels that his life is in danger, thus requiring a small, well, maybe not so small, a big insurance policy.
Wait a minute.
Going to look.
Look at the ramp.
Hey, wait a minute.
It's Rick Rude. Ravishing Rick Rude. He must be Shawn Michaels' new bodyguard. There's the insurance policy.
Is this the insurance policy that Shawn Michaels was talking about? Or is it Hunter Hearst? Oh, my goodness.
Double arm DDT. Michaels is in big trouble.
Both men down on the canvas. Both men have given it their all. We'll try and savor this match as long as we can. And go! Mankind and Shawn Michaels. Oh, wait a minute. Hunter Hearst Helmsley behind the official. Yanked Mankind's feet right off from under him as China is distracting the official. Oh, wait a minute. Picked up Rick Rude. Rude is going to...
Oh, good God. Rude just tattooed Mankind in the skull with a steel chair. How is he up? Sweet tin music. Sweet tin music.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. This is not over yet.
You want to get her on? Well, there he is. We're not going to wait till ground zero.
The Undertaker is going to extract his revenge on Shawn Michaels from SummerSlam tonight. Here he comes down. And Michaels has no place to run. Although, I don't know that Shawn isn't trying to run. Look at the insurance that Michaels has out here with Ravishing Rick Rude, with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Dead man! Wait a minute, what's this? The time is drawing near! Your brother Kane is coming! You, Undertaker, are gonna burn in hell! Undertaker, I promise you, you'll burn in hell! It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. About to approach the ring, accompanied by Paul Bearer from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader.
Well, Paul Bearer ain't no Bill Parcells.
Of course not. Paul Bear's nowhere near as big as the big tuna fish or whatever.
Vader, big and a big, 458 pounds in a big matchup this Monday night on Raw. He'll take on the Patriot. The Patriot just may well be the next WWF champion. And what a night it's going to be this Monday night on Raw. Atlantic City Convention Center is going to be smoking. And certainly China was breathing fire about 3 weeks ago when Helmsley and Vader were set to go one-on-one. Watch China. She says, I want you, Vader. What do you think she meant by that, James E?
I don't know whether she meant athletically or romantically. What do you think, JR?
From Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing 246 pounds, the 1997 King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
China certainly not intimidated by the presence of the Mastodon and the reigning King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who, according to some sources, may be joining forces with Shawn Michaels on a full-time basis. That's the rumor that's floating around out there. We know this Monday in Atlantic City, it will be Helmsley and Shawn in tag team action against The Undertaker and Mankind. That is going to be awesome.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, joining forces with Shawn Michaels full-time these days means about 3 more weeks, because after Ground Zero, I don't know whether anybody will be able to join Shawn or his pieces back together again after The Undertaker gets a hold of him.
Of course, we've heard so much speculation about The Undertaker's brother, Kane. When we'll see Kane.
Paul Bearer, I talked to him earlier, and he said Kane's coming soon. So you better watch out, because I'm on Paul's good side, you know.
You guys have a lot in common.
We sure do. We're both very, very excellent managerial brains.
Same pant size.
Yep. Hey, Paul, I told him Kane's coming soon. I told him Kane's going to be here. You just make sure that you remember I'm on your side, Paul, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I've always liked you.
You guys are a good pair. You're a good pair.
Kane's coming, I told him.
He's a liar, and you're next to him.
I'm next to you, too.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to even associate with that thug.
Let me tell you something. He's a fine, upstanding mortician.
And next year, he'll be the favorite to win the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Big bulbous. Oh, there's a lot of power there by Vader.
Boy, I'll tell you what, for a man with jowls like yours, you sure do throw those weight slurs around regularly.
I'm proud of my jowls. A lot of biscuits and gravy when you can find it up here. Hunter Hearst Helmsley's got to use his quickness and his finesse, his technique against this monster.
Wow!
Ooh! Nice little sidestep there by Helmsley, using Vader's own weight to get the mastodon up. Oh, look out!
Watch it! Oh!
That rather ample derriere headed straight south. And now, the clothesline, and Vader on the outside.
A miscalculation by Vader led to a charge by Helmsley, and now Vader is on the floor where the China syndrome may take over. But Vader is not above punching a woman in the face.
Vader a little bit dazed here, but catches Helmsley coming in with a kick to the midsection. There's a right hand. And now Vader measuring.
Here he comes. Look, go!
Vader caught nothing but steel, and Helmsley showing a very aggressive streak here this week on WWF New York.
That steel is not going to give, and sometimes you think neither will Vader's head. It takes a lot to put him down, but Helmsley's on a roll, and if he can keep this up, he may have the key to the match. Watch it!
The former All-American offensive lineman for the University of Colorado just blocked the steel steps.
I think the steel steps blocked Vader myself, and Paul Bearer has got to get the game plan back on track for his man, or this one could be over with.
Vader back in the ring, followed closely behind by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Helmsley from nearby Fairfield County in Connecticut, in Greenwich, and look at the slam! Oh, Helmsley has really turned it up a notch here. Helmsley with that Harley race-like knee drop. It's going to be over. No, wait a minute.
Is Ravishing Rick Rude here to stay in the World Wrestling Federation? And what's his relationship with the Heartbreak Kid? Get the scoop on option 3 of the WWF Superstar line, The Ross Report. Just call 1-900-7374-WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute, and kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling.
This one-on-one match continues. Vader and Hunter Hearst Helmsley here on WWF New York. And look at this move right here. Ooh. Vader splash. And Helmsley just barely able to get a shoulder up.
And speaking of the shoulder, now that we're back from the break, Vader is working on that shoulder with the Fujiwara armbar, trying to apply the submission maneuver to the blue blood. Ask him, he says.
Vader looking for the submission, trying to hyperextend the elbow. Greenwich, Connecticut's own Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Boy, both these guys have such tremendous matches coming up this Monday. Vader going up against the Patriot. Helmsley in that unbelievable tag team match. You got to think they're taking too much out of themselves in this contest, JR.
Well, that's a good point. It is going to be a war zone and a half in Atlantic City this Monday night. And body shots up and down, the head, the body. And now that the pace has slowed somewhat, Vader has found himself back in firm control.
That's exactly what Vader needs. That's the whole key to Vader winning a match. He establishes his pace and he sticks to it. He plows ahead like a freight train. You got to derail him.
Hello, another splash. And Vader, Vader left the left shoulder of Helmsley exposed. And Helmsley able to turn just enough to prevent the 3 count.
Is she worried? You can never tell.
I don't know. She's a dangerous woman. More dangerous than most women, as a matter of fact. 200-pound bodyguard of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and there's a belly-to-belly suplex. That should be all. And Vader has not gone for the cover, and that may be a mistake.
Look at Helmsley looking around for the ropes, trying to find out where they are so he can pull himself to his feet. He didn't even know which part of the ring he was in.
Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, look at Paul Bear. Paul Bear waddling up on the apron, and Paul Bear, a little soul right on the ample beak of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
But wait a minute. Paul, get your running shoes back on, because here comes China. China's coming around the ring.
Paul Bear doesn't want any part of China, and maybe vice versa. And the end is near for Helmsley. The Vader bomb is coming up. Wait a minute. Here comes China. And downstairs. And a Galata from China. Way south of the waistline.
Look at Vader's face. The paint on his face. He was frozen. She low-bridged him there. Can you believe that China would attack a man like Vader? Be thankful, China, that Vader wasn't looking at you.
Of a disqualification, the man they call Vader.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's in New Haven, Connecticut tomorrow night, it could be Atlantic City Monday night, or of course the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden on Monday night, September 22nd. Don't miss live WWF action. For James E., I'm JR. So long, everybody.